So first, the study of how we act, think, and feel. This once again goes to show you all people that if nothing else is certain, death is. And you hate to say that, but it is, right? But what doesn't have to be certain is cancer for everybody. And then I guess I don't know his struggle. I do know, well, I know that this was a private battle. I do know that, but I do know a lot of times, especially as men, especially as black men, I saw it again on TikTok. I was a man who said that he found out he had cancer because he hadn't been to the doctor in 5 years. And had he went, it would have been detected and he could have fought it early and then not even had to be dealing with that. But when it comes to mental health, hopefully this situations like this are wake-up calls for people, because it's just to say, if you haven't been to the doctor, it's one thing to get your health be on a regular basis, but go to the doctor, see what's going on, because a lot of things can be caught early and it can be fixed. When you got the news, how did you feel about it, and what's your take on what I just kind of said?
Oh wow. I was on Instagram, just like I'm sure many people were on Instagram or TikTok. And somebody was like, yeah, like, rest in peace, D'Angelo. And I'm checking out. I'm like, whoa, what? What's going on? But yeah, just really sad. And yeah, I mean, us and especially black men and doctors, it's a love and hate there because of the history with healthcare, and they're supposed to be taking care of us, but they're really killing black men and black women, right? Like you might just feel like, oh, I don't have time to go do that. Again, it could have been the trust thing. Like, oh shoot, like, am I even going to have the minimal health insurance that I already have? And so, especially for black men, we just want to work and work. Most of us are probably working 2 or 3 jobs just to provide, just to pay rent or mortgage. When do you have time to go to the doctor, right? But nevertheless, as my mom, would tell me, right, like make sure you go to the doctor, get a checkup, because I saw my grandfather, he was a black man who didn't go to the doctor and get his checkup, right? And so I definitely encourage every person really, but and particularly black men and black women, to go to the doctors, get your checkups, go to the dentist, go to, get your eyes checked, everything. Because yeah, that's definitely important. But again, rest in peace, man, to D'Angelo.
Again, there are so many scenarios where I hear about black men having these diseases and sicknesses, and it's like, if you would have just went to the doctor, that would have been taken care of. I'm like, when the last time you been to the dentist? Like, what we doing? And like you said, people working so hard that they just be like, I got time. You really don't. You need to go get that checked out.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I would just encourage everyone, like I said before, to make sure that you go get checked out. Check on your people, right? If your parents are still around, check on them. Make sure you know what doctors that they're going to, right? Speak to their doctors. And it's really about too, we got to watch what we are putting in our bodies, right? I know for myself, it got to the point where I was drinking some Red Bulls, right? I was like them Juneberry joints, just crushing them joints, right? And then I started feeling chest kind of tightening up. I was like, oh no. I was like, okay, let me think. What have I been doing differently? Them damn Red Bulls. And
how many were you doing?
Sometimes it could have been 2 or 3 a day. Yeah, and sometimes before noon, right? And so I was like, oh, and it was a very short period of time. Like it was, maybe within a month or so, and I started instantly feeling it. So I was like, oh no, so we have to also track what you are putting in your body, the fast foods, the the sugars, all those different things, right? Make sure you also take time to get in some type of exercise. If you can, if you work at an office like I do, right, on a regular, I just go outside, walk around my office building, right? Just doing something like that. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Those little things can help, extend, your life as well. So those are the things I would advise, especially, with it being so difficult to try to get to the doctor and this and that. There's other little things you can do as well to help you with your health. So,
and also, real quick, last point. I've learned in the recent years, maybe like last few years, the importance and the need for fasting. Like, y'all also look up some videos on them. we do them for spiritual reasons, but also the health benefits of, a dry fast or a water fast or a, just intermittent fast, and does a lot more than people realize. It does obviously with weight loss, but it does a lot with the cells and autophagy. So that's something I ain't giving a science lesson today, but y'all should look it up on YouTube and see, and you'll be interested to see what you'd find out, because I got a lot of good